Welcome to Talk About Scary, the show where we do just that, talk about scary places and whether or not we think the stories are true.
Hey, Clay.
Hey, Adam.
How are you today?
I'm good. Is that how we just are going to open every episode now? Hey, Clay. Hey, Adam. How are you today?
That's it.
That's the format?
That's the format. You don't like it?
No, it's just simple. I feel like we definitely sat in a meeting room and we're like, we got to hammer out the details. Hey, Clay. Hey, Adam. I love it. Sign off. Let's start.
I like it. Whatever.
So, it's my turn today, and I have a doozy.
Ooh, a doozy, huh?
Yeah, a doozy. Let's travel to Florida.
Ooh, it's my home state.
Ah. Mine is not Florida, so I can't connect with you on that level. But specifically, we're going to be looking at the St. Augustine Lighthouse.
Ooh, I love St. Augustine. That is my favorite place in the world. Absolutely.
Well, I'm assuming then you've at least heard of the lighthouse and some of the stories that people tell about it.
Oh, yeah. I'm betting that some of the people at home have not heard of the stories.
Well, it's possible. I hadn't really until I looked into it. But people show up to look at the lighthouse because it's pretty. It's actually the oldest brick building in the city, and it has 219 steps from the bottom to the top.
That's a hike.
It is. The lightkeeper's house was added to the site in the year 1876. It was built originally in 1874, but they added on to it 2 years later. And it has more than one ghost. Similar to some of the other places we've looked at, it's not a one-trick pony.
Mm-mm. Absolutely not. By the way, it's important to note here that St. Augustine has a lot of history, probably why it has so many hauntings. It is America's oldest European colony, by far.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's Spanish, so people don't consider it to be European, but Spain's in Europe.
I did not know that. That did not come up in my research.
I'm telling you.
I did bad research. We should just cancel this episode right now.
All right.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thanks for watching.
Okay, down to business. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. One of the first keepers was a man named Peter. He was known for his watchful eye while he maintained the lighthouse. He also loved cigars. He smoked lots of cigars.
Stinky.
And he's one of the first ghosts that people really reported coming in contact with. Over the years, the smell of Peter's cigar has been detected by many, including visitors and staff members. So this isn't just people come in and they smell something and they're like, oh, what is that? This is people that work there on a semi-regular basis have smelled this spirit.
Well, cigars are pretty stinky. Have you ever tried to get a cigar smell out of like a car or something? It never goes away. So maybe they're just smelling residual
I can
cigar
imagine, yeah. But still, that's history right there. I just mentioned that it was the late 1800s that this lighthouse was constructed. So he was literally the first one, and his spirit is still there. The smell is still lingering. I don't know if it stays in cars for almost 200 years. I really hope not. That would be a problem.
Maybe. Kind of messed up. You build a brand new lighthouse and some guy just comes in and sparks up a big fat turd and starts burning it in the lighthouse and stinking up the whole place. Just just a big fat cigar, Stinky.
Wonderful. It smells too new. Light it up.
Stinging up the lighthouse. Way to go, Peter.
Well, there's another keeper that haunts the lighthouse. His name is Joseph. He's been dead for more than 100 years, a century. His presence at the lighthouse could be explained by the fact that he fell to his death while painting the outside of the tower.
Whoopsie.
And his spirit never left. And it's often seen looking out from the top. So people from the ground, they'll see his spirit up there looking off into the distance, keeping watch from the afterlife.
The keepers had to paint their own lighthouses?
I mean, back then it makes sense. People did things more themselves than hiring people to do things for them.
Seems like, I don't know. I feel like somebody else should have been painting the lighthouse besides the keeper. And what the hell was he doing? He's supposed to be watching the water, right? Did they watch the water back then?
I mean, you can, like, paint and, like, look over your shoulder. And I mean, honestly, that's probably how he fell. Too much at one time. Men can only do, like, one thing at a time. Right? I mean, like, have you tried, like, patting your head and, like, rubbing your stomach? Like,
I guess. I mean...
And then, like, switch it? Oh, see, I can't even do it.
I'm not trying it.
I am. I'm making a great error.
Pat my head and rub my stomach. Here it goes. Ready?
And then reverse.
Can't do it. I did it.
Don't brag. No, you didn't. Don't brag.
I did. You'll see. I did it. It was good.
So what do you think so far about the lighthouse? You think any of these ghosts are more reasonable than anything else we've discussed on the show?
Okay, lighthouses are spooky. And actually, I was a latchkey kid growing up, and I had a split family. So if nobody knows what a latchkey kid is, just go look back in some literature from the 80s. You'll figure it out. And I was a child of I was a product of divorce, so I split my time between New England, in particular New Hampshire. We go to Maine all the time, and then Florida. And there's a lot of lighthouses in Maine too, and there's a lot of ghost stories, and they sound a lot like that.
Okay.
That's all I got to say about that so far. And the it's funny though. The guy who painted a lighthouse that falls, that's just funny to me. It's like the guy who slipped on the banana peel and then died, and now he haunts the place, and you can smell bananas.
I mean, I feel bad for the guy. Like, what a way to go. Like, didn't even get to finish his coat of paint. Just half finished work. And he just has to stand there and he looks at it all day. And people look at him and try to take pictures.
I feel bad for the guy because that's the dumbest way to die I've ever heard in my entire life. And I'm
that
pretty
banana thing is definitely worse. Dying on a banana peel and then your haunting power is making everybody smell bananas.
That would be worse.
That's worse.
That would be worse, I guess. But the falling from painting a lighthouse is pretty hilarious. You gotta admit.
I guess.
All right, there's gotta be another haunting in this place, huh?
There is. The most well-known haunting is what I have left to discuss with you.
Does the haunting have a title?
Yeah, it's the St. Augustine Lighthouse haunting.
What? Say it again. Say it slower. So we can put some soundtrack behind it, please.
The St. Augustine Lighthouse haunting.
Dun, dun, dun.
2 young sisters have died on the property. A man was hired to renovate the tower in the late 1800s. So basically, after the paint job fell through from the previous keeper, they decided, nope, you know what, let's renovate the whole thing and freshen it up a bit. His daughters, Eliza and Mary, were playing inside a cart that was being used to carry materials back and forth to and from the lighthouse.
So these are young girls. These aren't like 20-year-old girls.
No, these are young girls.
Okay.
And the cart broke loose, and they weren't able to jump off in time, and the cart slid rapidly into the bay. Why is everything? Why is death making you laugh?
That's the
so
dumbest way to die
much?
yet.
You didn't even let me
I know all of us
say.
from Florida are known for being stupid, but I mean, come on, that's
I
pretty
had
bad.
prepared to say after that they plummeted to a watery death, and you didn't even let me get that out. You just that. So.
This wait. I gotta breathe for a second. That's.
I just, you know what? Now that you mention it, all I picture is like Mario Kart. Like they slip on that banana peel and just fall over into the bay.
I want this to be scary. I seriously can't breathe. Give me a second. We can edit that, right? Okay. Wait.
Yeah, I'll edit it. It is scary. It's just the manner in which it happened is a little bit funny. You know, I mean, if it happened to you or someone you knew, we wouldn't be laughing about it.
I would be. I would be laughing.
You would?
Yeah, absolutely.
You just watch your daughters go into a cart and drown in the bay and you laugh?
Not my daughters, but maybe somebody else's daughters, or like, you know. I'm sorry, that's some Home Alone stuff right there. That's hilarious. That's
Kevin.
Is this all been verified? I feel really bad laughing, but I think enough time has passed now. It's not too soon. I can laugh.
Yeah, I mean, this has been verified. I don't want to like toot my own horn because it will be in the credits, but I'm literally on the St. Augustine Lighthouse website right now. And I've taken notes from some other blogs and sites that have posted pictures and stuff like that. But right now I'm literally reading to you from the Lighthouse's official website.
So for all our viewers at home, just let you know, we Googled all this stuff, so it's 100% verified.
We have to source everything. We can't just be recording nonsensical information and then hoping no one calls us out on it. But banana peels, I don't know.
Whoopsies. Well, okay, so they died in a horrible way. Not funny, but it's also not too soon, so I don't feel bad for laughing. So what is the haunting?
Plummeting to their watery death.
A lot of sharks, St. Augustine. Maybe they turn into chum.
We can just pretend that immediately sharks swarmed them and it makes it more terrifying. But today, and most days since then, the girls can actually be heard laughing at the top of the tower late at night. Others have spotted Eliza floating about the grounds wearing the same blue dress that she died in.
There's that clothing thing again.
Yep.
They don't get an upgrade once they die.
I say the same thing, though. Children, especially laughing dead children, is... that's a lot. It's just... We can laugh about it all we want, but if I just turn right there and I see a laughing dead child, I am not gonna be in a happy place.
No, children are pretty terrifying when they're alive. So, I mean, just think about babies by themselves. You know they have 2 rows of teeth? They have a row of teeth in their gums, and they have one below that you can see, their baby teeth. And when they fall out, the other teeth grow in. They're like sharks. That is terrifying. If you take an x-ray of a small child's face, it is a nightmare.
Is this like the Human Anatomy show now? Like, are we just...
I'm just saying, that's one of the things that creep me out about kids. Kids creep me out. Absolutely.
Okay, well, going back to laughing at the top of the tower late at night. This is the most well-known haunting at the lighthouse. Several people have reported seeing Eliza floating and hearing these girls both laughing at night. And in fact, the lighthouse, I believe, I don't have it up right now, but I did read that the lighthouse does close fairly early and people aren't allowed to wander about the grounds too late. That's probably for a safety thing, not necessarily, well, the ghosts come out and we don't want you to be too scared. But it does kind of make you wonder, you know.
Sure, I mean, probably a lot of people go to see if they can see the ghosts. And because it's pretty well known, I imagine there's a lot of people taking photographs. And if you've never been to St. Augustine, it's lush. There's all sorts of wildlife around there. It can be marshy at times of the year, so I'm sure they're like, you know what, just don't come that late at night. And it's probably a national monument, right? It's a historic monument now, right?
I believe so, yes. I mean, there's more hauntings that have gone on, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's a historic monument. For example, it has its own gift shop, and the lighthouse staff have reported that chairs have been moved or overturned, and that items in that gift shop have gone missing, only to reappear later. And music boxes in the gift shop have also been known to turn on by themselves.
Now that's creepy. Music boxes are terrifying. Music boxes turning on by themselves, deal breaker. I'm leaving a place if someone's music box turns on by itself.
So, like, children tragically die in a cart and drown. A man falls to his death while painting. And a music box is where you draw the line.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Poltergeist. Remember that Jack in the Box?
Yeah, but it's like soothing sound. I mean, I get it that if it's going off by itself, that's one thing. But still, really?
I'm an audio guy. Like, most of this stuff, you'll never see. That's scary. Now
I mean, when I think of music boxes, I think of like the ones that open up and then there's like that single ballerina on like a pole that just like goes slowly in a circle. So I don't know if that's anything what you're thinking or what they sell, but that's kind of what I'm thinking when I picture music box, especially in this scenario where there's two girls, young girls that haunt the place.
It's probably the ballerina, not the new modern version of a dancer on a pole. I've seen those music boxes too, but they usually play.
Please tell me you're joking.
They usually play like T-Pain or something in the background, but those are good too. But those aren't scary. The ballerina one that you're referring to is the one I think that's scary.
So a ballerina one goes off and you're scared, but a T-Pain one goes off.
I'm aroused.
Just like, all right. Well, lastly, some visitors touring the Lightkeeper's quarters feel cold, which I know we've talked about in the past, and that's kind of a topic that is debatable. It's so questionable that it's not even funny. But some of them have seen a tall figure that looks like a man appear before them and then quickly disappear.
That's pretty creepy.
I mean, if all this happens at once, if you hear girls laughing, music boxes going off, and a tall man appearing before you,
I'm jumping out the window.
Freak out. Okay, so you're gonna.
I've only seen one haunting in my life, but I've heard of this place. I've actually heard of the lighthouse, and I've heard a lot of stories. And there seems to be a lot more stories around this lighthouse than a lot of other lighthouses in the U.S. I have not been to any outside of the U.S., so I can't say. But I will say that there's been a lot at this one. And not only that, but there's a graveyard really close to it too.
Is there?
Yeah, and if you go to some of the graves, if you go to the gravesite, a lot of these graves are sunk in, or they've moved. The earth has moved because they're very old graves. And I don't want to misrepresent it, but I want to say the last time I was there, I was younger, but some of those gravestones are from the 1600s, the late 1600s. Yeah.
Again, it's a really old lighthouse. I'm not familiar with the area, but I could definitely
or like the mid 1700s, but it's like that.
I could definitely see though that this seems to be an older area in the state. So I'm not surprised if there's really dead things. Near this lighthouse.
I imagine. There's all sorts of mystics and witches that live there too.
Witches?
Yeah, witches, like real witches, and mystics and things of that nature.
Trouble. Those kind?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, pretty. Some real Harry Potter type stuff going on over there.
Did you know I was wearing my Harry Potter shirt right now?
I figured. When are you not wearing your Harry Potter shirt?
I think you're a witch. I think someone needs to get burned at the stake.
Ooh, I love steak.
Okay.
Don't burn mine. No, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of like supernatural believers that live in that area, especially in St. Augustine. And I mean, if nothing else, you said before that you believe in certain energies possessing
Yeah.
a place. That's your words, not mine. I don't believe anything
It
in
is.
garbage. But maybe if that's the case, if we're going to go into your reality, maybe
It's a good reality.
all of these people and the beliefs that they hold, maybe that holds some sort of power over the place. Either way, it's magical.
That's what I was thinking when you said there's a cemetery nearby with really, really old graves, and just the whole area is older. And if there's hauntings going on, then I only talked about 3 or maybe 4 with the tall man that disappears and reappears, ghosts at the lighthouse. But there might be a whole lot going on in that area that I just didn't look into. I was trying to stick to just the lighthouse because it has such a rich history.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot going on in the area. Spanish ramparts are right next to it. There's old jails. Lots of Spaniards died there. I bet you.
But that's what I mean. Like just the whole area is probably full of that energy, and it might not be evil. I didn't look up anything that said anyone got attacked or assaulted or died because they, thwarted the causes of Satan or anything like that. But it does kind of raise the question of, are some places more energy prone than others?
Yeah, maybe.
And I think so. Obviously you don't, but
maybe. I mean, if it is a Florida haunting, Florida is more chill. It's a chiller place, so they don't have time for all that craziness. Unless you go to a Publix during alligator mating season, you might see a alligator inside your Publix or your Winn-Dixie. But
Florida is a unique state, though. Depending on where you're at, it's very different. So
that's right. That's right. It ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. And if you're in Florida, you in it. For real. Great. Weird place.
Home of the Miami Heat and what used to be LeBron James, and he's out of there. So
Jabron Lames, that's right.
I'm okay with that. Not a fan.
Geez, I hope LeBron doesn't see this. Comes knocking on your door someday.
Please don't see this.
This lighthouse in St. Augustine, Florida, you guys can just look it up. It's really easy to find if you want to go down and visit. And they have like hours of operation, or they close certain days, or where can we find out more about it? Is there a website? You said there's a website.
There's a website. It'll be right in the credits for you to look up. I do have a phone number to call.
Can you put the phone number below me if I point down? If I go like this and point, put the phone number.
Why don't you go ahead and point down, and later on, if it's there, cool. If it's not, I don't know what you're pointing at.
I just did it. It's already done. It's
okay.
Done, so
the phone number that I have, though, isn't for the lighthouse. It's for Historic Tours of America that runs tours through several different places, including this lighthouse. And I found a lot of great information on their website as well. So I'm going to give you that phone number. It's 866-955-6101. So give them a call if you want to set up a tour and go check out the dead painters of the lighthouse.
Or the dead kids.
And the dead kids, Mario Kart style. All right.
Well, thanks for sharing with us. That was awesome. I really enjoyed your story today.
I do like the lighthouse. I think it's a different take on ghosts, even though some of the hauntings sound similar to other topics that we've discussed. I do think that anything like right on the ocean, it's just kind of got that like edge over that middle of the country stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Plummeting to their watery death. I'm going to say that one more time.
It was funnier the first time. You're just wearing it out now.
You didn't even let me say it the first time. Well, thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. And as always, creep it real.
Creep it real. Bye, guys.